Hello, I'm back. It's 1:21 p.m. in the afternoon. Excuse me. So, last night my sleep was much better than um the previous nights, but I think I may have gotten like between 5 and 6 hours of sleep, and I woke up um at 7 something, I think. It was before 8 o'clock. I think I woke up, but I don't remember at all what time it was. But I had this weird dream where I asked the fake foster mom a question about what's her opinion. I don't know why I had this dream, but I asked her what is her opinion about the government suppressing people, from being self-sufficient and you know surviving on our own, without government control or whatever. And before she can answer that in the dream, I was basically transferred to like another dream, or I call that a nightmare. That me and my twin sister got into an argument face to face because she falsely accused me of another thing that I didn't do, but I forgot in the dream what she falsely accused me of. And me and her got into an argument, and then I woke up. Um, so then, after that, I noticed in real life, when you wake up in the morning, nearly every morning of my life, like the first thing I have to do when I wake up is go use the bathroom. A lot of the times, my bladder wakes me up, in the morning. So, I had to go use the bathroom. Then I checked my social media and noticed that David Jane made 20 fake harassing comments to me. And then, you know, what's funny was, you know, as I said, the fake Hell's Way Church, they used to call David fat and greedy as well. They used to call David greedy. So now he's copying off my twin sister and, harassing me about being, falsely accusing me of being greedy. And then, harassing me about Raven. And, but I remember when fake Eric from the fake Hell's Way Church told David, not me, he told David, David, you can't eat, David, you can eat 6 plates of food, but you can't tithe. But Eric was money hungry with bullying the members of the church into tithing. So Eric was a different kind of greedy, being covetous with everybody's money, with bullying people into tithing, and lied and said that tithing money to the church is the only way to salvation. When he said that, I left the church for good. And then Eric would try to call me up and bully, harass, and threaten me for leaving the church. But I was always, from day one, I was always singled out and treated differently, like outcasted. But then Eric will single me out and treat me differently, but then pretend to fake like he's treating me like as if I'm special. He even lied to people, lied to the fake church, and said that I'm a diamond in the rough. Knowing you got secret jealousy and hatred towards me, Eric. So, um, yeah, that fake Hell's Way church was the church where, the fake pastor Eric, he been to prison like 4 times, and he was required to register as a sex offender, and he was abusive and narcissistic and a perp, and throwing up satanic hand signs and using mind control and neuro linguistic programming, and he kept everybody in fear, you know and it was a false church that I was in. The first church that I started to try to be a member at, you know before I even became, before I started believing in Jesus Christ and everything, really, I didn't realize I was in a false church. And Eric felt threatened by me questioning things and researching the truth and everything. And Eric, he reminded me so much of the foster brother Joe, with the temper and abuse and everything. But Eric never put his hands on me though. But I didn't realize that Eric was a narcissistic abuser, and come to think of it, Eric was a perp too. So, tithing money to a church while still living in sin. No, that does not grant you to heaven, you know. But David Jane, he called me up and said that Ben Lim, who I call Ben Fraud, was another abusive religious narc. And Ben Lim, I found out evidence that he sold his soul to the devil. You pretend to be a fake Christian missionary while you think it's cool to throw up satanic hand signs and as above, so below with devil horns. I saw those pictures. So, you know, so David hypocritically, harassed me and called me fat and greedy and everything. And David used to be taken advantage of. And he said he went to jail because a bunch of 15-year-old kids manipulated him to giving them cigarettes, and he got arrested and went to jail. So he can't call me a jailbird. Like, he tried to call me a jailbird and everything. So, David would be restricted from food at that place that he was living at. And he would go to the fake Hell's Way church, and the church would call him greedy. So, David used to eat more than me at the church. I could barely eat 4 hot dogs. I can eat 3, but I kind of can't even really eat 4 hot dogs. But David, if he could get away with eating like 5, 6, 7, or 8 slices of pizza, and David couldn't even stand up for himself being bullied. And if I was still in Los Angeles and confronted him about gang stalking me, he would be the biggest coward and run away and be scared, because he was already acting like a scared dog whenever he would see me. So, David would try to, make fake new accounts and call me Miss Piggy, or use fake names of actual women and stuff like that. And David does not care about going to hell. But his own adopted family didn't even care about him or have his best interests at heart. And you know, before David started doing this gang stalking, when I knew David in Los Angeles, the way he acted was like a puppet on a string to be controlled by other people, and would be defenseless and scared and wouldn't even fight back. I remember, I'm gonna say it again, that I remember trying to be emotionally supportive and console him when the time when he was bullied to tears by his roommate Christian. And you would have thought that he was like a damn first grader crying about being bullied when he was at least 35 years old or something like that. So, you know, the fact that, you think that you can try to come and troll and harass somebody and leave abusive fake comments. So, I mean, David himself will suffer bed bugs for years that he never had any intention of trying to get rid of them. But they have had moments where I would try to make attempts to help him get rid of the bed bugs. In the people at the group home that he was staying at, the racist Filipino lady Tina, you know, Tina would, and some of Miss Josie and some of the others would be abusive and rude, and wait till I'm gone to confiscate and throw the stuff away that I would try to give to him to help him get rid of the bed bugs. And his feelings were hurt when the fake Hell's Way church members laughed at and made fun of him. Like they had this guy, his name was Shavasa or something like that. I don't know if he was Jewish, but he was rumored to be a pedophile. And one time David's feelings was hurt because Shavasa said, "Who, bed bug David?" When I try to ask him something about David, and he said, "Who, bed bug David?" And David had like a damn near freaking meltdown. If I end up with bed bugs, I try to fight whatever I could, fight tooth and nail to get rid of them. The biological sister Ramona, I heard, had like kept bed bugs for years too and won't get rid of them. And I try to ask her, I try to help her get rid of them, and she threw a tantrum and refused to let me help her get rid of them. And then a few years later, Wyatt was telling me that that Ramona had gave him bed bugs, and even Sean, said that he complained to Ramona about bed bugs biting him up, and Ramona would dismiss him or shoo him away, or you know and stuff like that. But Ramona, it seemed like she enjoyed having fucking bed bugs. Like when I was living in Los Angeles, I was freaking helpless and freaking damn near suicidal, being tortured by bed bugs, you know. But now I find ways to fight to get rid of them. You know, I mean, when I was at the La Quinta Hotel on Veterans and Metairie, um, I think it was back in December, not the one in Kenner, but in Metairie. I ended up with bed bugs, and that was the last time I stayed there. And then I think at the hotel out in the east, I caught them there too, but it took a fight to get rid of them. So, you know, but I actually, be proactive with trying to get rid of them. I don't leave myself to keep bed bugs for years. Or, you know, but you think you're better than somebody. David Jane never had his own place to live at, I don't think. Now that's somebody who never had his own place to live and can't take care of himself, even if he had the finances to do so. But David knows what it's like to be bullied, and yet coming on my YouTube to harass me and spread more false rumors about me. And y'all listen to him and y'all believe his lies or whatever. So, they had somebody with a fake account called Crypto Gaming or something like that. And he made a fake comment on my video about the New Orleans second line or whatever. And he said, "Oh, I thought you were from," it was his first comment ever. And he said something about, "Oh, I thought you were from New Orleans or whatever." And I said, "Yeah, I'm, grew up, I'm, born in New Orleans, but grew up in Gretna." And he said, "Oh, well," he said something in a very, very smart ass kind of shaming way, and narcissistically gave himself a fake thumbs up. And he had he tried to put me down and make me feel bad or whatever. I don't remember. I don't have his exact comment in front of my face, but he said something really smart ass enough that I ended up having to block him. I mean, I don't see second line in New Orleans a whole lot, but like the second line that I would see a lot of the times is be like black people right after black people's funeral, but that was the first time I ever saw a second line, and it was a bunch of white people, and it looked like a wedding. I mean, before or after a wedding. That was the first time I ever saw that. But me personally, I don't do second lines really. I never really participated in second line, and the family treated me like shit for Blake's funeral, the biological cousin Blake that got shot and killed. But Ramona wanted to make me feel like as if I'm a disgrace to the family because I refused to participate in marching in the second line for Blake's funeral. Even then I did not want to participate in marching or dancing or whatever in the whatever second line thing. It's part of New Orleans culture, but I don't even know if some people might say that it's against God or something. I don't know, but yeah, I don't even like, I have not really researched like the origins or the history of second line and where they come from or whatever, and I never been like deep into stuff like that, but I mean, I just so happened like right when I got off the bus that day, and that was what I crossed paths with, or that's what I saw, So, but they even had gang stalkers like directly behind. They were performing their gang stalking, tactics like in vehicles right behind the second line event. Um, but yeah, I never really was into stuff like that, and me being overly sheltered, um, and in foster care. The foster mom hardly let us really go anywhere or participate in much of anything. Um, I did a video showing y'all the house that I grew up in. The house in Gretna where I grew up in. And so, and then after Katrina bouncing around from city to cities to state and being out of state for so many years, being an adult, I think I lived, like after turning 18, I think I have more years of my adulthood life living and residing in different areas outside of New Orleans than in New Orleans. And, I've had moments where I've came and left, So, like, if I lived in New Orleans all my life, New Orleans metro area, because certain people want to be like, oh, you grew up in Gretna? Oh, that ain't New Orleans. Well, it's New Orleans metro area. They got people who actually from Baton Rouge who lie and say that they're from New Orleans. Now, that's totally different. But they have people who you've been like, where are you from? New Orleans? What part of New Orleans? Oh, I'm from Houma. So if people from Houma can claim New Orleans, claim to be a New Orleans native, why can't I claim to be a New Orleans native if my family is from the 7th Ward? The house that was listed on me and my twin sister's birth certificate, that was in the 7th Ward in New Orleans. I was born at Charity Hospital. And I'm glad they fucking shut down. I absolutely hated Charity Hospital. And all these evil hospitals in New Orleans that purposely leave people to fucking die. You don't even really hear about that in other cities and states. So, multiple hospitals in New Orleans, if you go there, you'll be lucky if you make it out alive. So, after what they did to me in 2003, I felt ashamed to even have been born at that fucking hospital. And I rejoiced when I found out that Charity Hospital no longer exists. What they did to me in 2003, yeah, it made me feel ashamed that I ever was born there. But if it weren't for foster care, yeah, I would have been, in New Orleans all my life. But even Gretna is considered New Orleans West Bank. So yeah, I'm a New Orleans native. And you can't take that away from me. I'm gonna freaking die here in New Orleans metro area. I might as well just die here at home. I don't know. Who knows? I might end up dying out of state. So, but who am I? I'm not God to say where I'm gonna die at. But I plan to reside here for the rest of my life. Even though the family don't accept me. But yeah, I've been living out of state for the majority of my after Hurricane Katrina. I've been residing out of state for pretty much the majority of my adulthood life, but I live in New Orleans. I'm not counting vacations and stuff, but I resided in New Orleans, in Gretna, all of my childhood. My entire childhood, I resided in Gretna, Louisiana. But when we were taken away and put in foster care and forced to live with the fake foster mom, Adrian Felder, yeah, Gretna, Louisiana, right here in fake Gretna, since the online perps, they, wrongfully publicized the freaking hotel I'm staying in. I grew up in fake Gretna all my childhood, from infancy until adulthood. And in 2018, I made an attempt to move back to Gretna, after living in Jefferson for a year. And I only lasted a month to stay in that house. And I ended up chronically homeless ever since then. And it took, it took 5 whole years for me to finally get me permanent housing again at that housing in Pensacola. Y'all know what happened. And it was similar. What happened in Pensacola was somewhat similar to what happened in Gretna and what happened in Jefferson, Shrewsbury. And also, I had kind of the same experience somewhat in Greenville, South Carolina, and in Los Angeles, where I was forced to just, flee. So, and if I would have been living in New Orleans throughout, from 2019 all the way through now, I don't think people would be trying to tell me, oh, you should go relocate or you should go move out of state. But under the condition that I've lived out of state before, people want to try to tell me, oh, you should go relocate, you should go live out of state, you should do this, you should do that, or go live here, go live there. And you don't even care about me. You don't even know me. You're dishing out advice and I can't even see what your face look like. I don't even know what your real identity is, and you're dishing out advice telling me what to do. You're hiding behind a screen name with no picture or no face or whatever, and telling me what decisions to make in my life. I don't know shit about you. So, so yeah, if it weren't for me living out of state in recent years, people wouldn't be telling me, oh, you should go relocate and go live somewhere else. I think that they would respect my wishes with, wanting to be in my hometown. But due to the gang stalking and being wrongfully banned from places because of the forced homelessness and abusive narcissists, everybody who bans me from somewhere is somebody somebody who get me, wrongfully banned and trespassed. They all got power hungry, narcissistic, fake personalities, and they all be part of the gang stalking. That, oh, you're banned from here, or you trespass. Oh, I'm gonna have you trespass. They either threaten it or do it. And everybody who make the decision to have me trespass from somewhere, they're all power hungry, narcissistic gang stalkers. And fake as hell. So, I mean, if I would have moved to St. Louis, Missouri, I'm pretty sure my homeless struggle will be the same. I don't think that, you know, and I know that because, I know that New York and Chicago and Detroit would be like, I couldn't live in those places nowadays, because of what's going on, you know, those are not places I could go live. But you know, I tried living in Cincinnati, and even though I didn't want to live there, I actually liked Cincinnati, but I hated the weather. Um, I liked Cincinnati, but I just hated the weather. But they had so many job opportunities. Um, and I was wrongfully banned from the or kicked out of the days in Sharonville. But coming to find out later on, I was told that I was not banned or trespassed from there. Oh, because that I'm not gonna say what the crooked guy did to me, but I think that was the only place where I was told that I was banned from. But other than that, I don't remember being banned from anywhere else. And I don't think I got banned from anywhere in Bloomington, Texas either. Um, I don't remember. But yeah, I'm wrongfully banned from multiple places in Pensacola, Florida, and here in New Orleans. And I don't remember being banned from anywhere in New York or Milwaukee um or Greenville, South Carolina. But one place I got kicked out of a restaurant, and the guy threatened to have me prosecuted because I asked to use the bathroom, and I had and I had like the psych meds was causing me irritable bowel syndrome, and enough where my doo doo alone stopped up the toilet without any toilet paper. Just my bowel movements were so big that it stopped up the toilet. And the man threatened to have me prosecuted, and I walked out of the restaurant crying. But I think that was the only place I ever got banned from. And the Marriott in Los Angeles, I got wrongfully banned from. And that was a gang stalking setup. Um, and then, um, well, that was the only place that I can, and that happened in early 2014. And I was wrongfully banned from Union Rescue Mission, Separation Torture Mission. I'm wrongfully banned forever at that place. And y'all supposed to be Christian. Um, and I don't remember where else I was wrongfully banned from in Los Angeles. You know, um, but here in New Orleans and Pensacola, Florida, like I have been wrongfully banned from so many places I can't even like I kind of lost count. And even banned from like pretty much all the damn shelters here in New Orleans. And and fake Star Bricker try to falsely talk about, oh, your behavior gets you kicked out of freaking soup kitchens. You know, And I don't know why these perps who meddle in people's business, if they feel like me standing up to gang stalkers is behaving badly or bad behavior. Even fake TI perps have said the same thing. For me to stand up to gang stalkers is equivalent to, behaving badly or making the TI community look crazy. But then people say don't let people walk, that I should stand up for myself, and I should stop letting people walk all over me and take advantage of me. So, but this person, I don't know if this person is part of the TI community or not. But, leaving me, like, donated me some money, donated me $5, and then leave a narcissistic, bossy comment saying, focus only on God, and then put in all caps, read your Bible and pray and this and that or whatever, and don't worry about, I don't remember exactly word for word, but that pretty much discouraged and disappointed and upset and frustrated me, and it's like, I don't know why people think that because I'm going through this targeting, they think that I'm not reading the Bible or listening to the Bible or praying, or they feel like, read you they put in all caps, like as if I'm too stupid. But that the fake health and wealth prosperity gospel and the new age fake karma talk, is the reason why people are attacking people who are already suffering and feel like you deserve your suffering as punishment because you did XYZ to deserve it. Or that you're suffering because you did XYZ to deserve it, or, oh, you're going through what you're going through because you haven't read the Bible, or if you haven't been praying or whatever. And they talk to you like as if you know nothing about the Bible. And these religious narcs trying to control and fix you. I don't need some outsider trying to tell me, focus only on Jesus Christ. And then behind closed doors, they be perping and abusing. I mean, how the hell you gang stalk someone, but then tell somebody, repent of your sins? But, I mean, as I've said before, that, you have a very controlling agenda for you to, when you see me at my lowest, and then you donate funds, and then you try to use the Bible to, then you start like Bible thumping, and then, and act like a religious narc. And then when I do a video saying that, that you use the Bible to abuse me or whatever, then it ends up where people end up turning it away and don't want to help when I'm at my lowest. If you think that, oh, you're going through what you're going through because you haven't been reading the Bible or praying or whatever. And it's like, wow, it's like I had just got done praying 10 minutes ago. And I don't need to, like me reading the Bible and praying and stuff, I thought that was my personal relationship with God. And religious narcs always talk like they falsely assume that they know that you don't pray or read your Bible, and feel like, well, this is evidence because if you were reading the Bible and praying, then you wouldn't be suffering the way you're suffering. But do you really falsely believe that all the rich folks got all their riches on this earth? I hear loud noise. Do you really think that they have the riches on their earth because they were, obedient and faithful to God and stuff? Or do you know damn well that they got their riches through corruption and selling their soul? As I said, I'm tired of people, religious or not. I'm tired of narcissistic, bossy people trying to control and fix me and order me around and tell me what to do. You know, or they want to police what Bible scriptures they think you should be reading. Or they will tell you, pray this prayer every day or read this Bible scripture every day. If the Bible said we're not supposed to trust in man or whatever, but they have all these religious narcs. Like, when I'm trying to get closer to God, the religious narcs attack me the worst to try to manipulate for me to backslide and almost give up. Excuse me. I mean, so that I'm not saying that person was a perp, but I say all the time that I do not like people trying to boss me around and tell me what to do, or feel like because they donated, then that's a license for them to try to police everything I do in my life and micromanage and control me. Or they think I'm not doing something right, or they think I'm doing something wrong. Excuse me. Like, shortly after praying, this morning, and then I go on about my day. I went to pay for the extra night that another person had donated me last night. And then I went to, I would rather if somebody, give you some Bible scriptures in an encouraging and supportive and uplifting way. Not in a way that they want to kick you down and be condescending and insult you and make you feel bad, But I very much appreciate, if you give me like certain prayers or encouragement or uplifting, excuse me, but because you speculate or suspect that I'm not reading my Bible, that does not give you the right or the authority to beat me down spiritually and abuse me. Or, treat me like an infant or a toddler. If you donate funds and then, couple up your financial donation with narcissistic abuse, whether it be like, religious or not. If I had, excuse me, people would like donate me $20 and then right along with the message to tell me ignore all your gang stalking and it makes you look foolish. And then if I block them for treating me like that, then they play victim and being like, well, Candy blocked me for no reason, or Candy blocked me because Candy blocked me after I donated. I'm like, motherfucker, you didn't tell what you did. And or they would donate $100 and then try to formulate a fake friendship. And then after they get personal information like my phone number or email, then they will show me a picture of themselves throwing up the devil horns. And then after I block them, they play game. They play all, and they do this at my lowest. Like, I don't need people kicking me down even harder when I'm already at my lowest. Or they will have somebody that support and donate for a few months with, and then all of a sudden, after some time, then they start to get bossy and controlling and vicious, and make me feel uncomfortable with trying to correct and control and micromanage everything they see me doing or saying. You know, and but I say all the time that I appreciate, for people if I need help and they donate with and they're not, and they don't have an agenda to try to manipulate, sabotage, destroy, or try to control. If they have people who would be like an occasional donor or something like that, and they just donate and say God bless or something like that, but I mean, for somebody to donate and then start to leave bossy messages and stuff, like if somebody donate $300 and then start acting like as if they're chastising and trying to shame you and everything and beat you down. Like, just because I'm homeless does not mean that I did something to deserve it, or I committed some crime to deserve homelessness as a form of prison. But the gang stalking network will make society think that way about you. And I'm telling people my personal experiences. If y'all telling me, oh, focus only on Jesus Christ, when I'm sitting here, trying to fight a criminal charge, if y'all bossing me around, are y'all praying? Are y'all coming together and intercessory praying for me to get those criminal charges dropped? I bet you're not. I bet you're not praying for to get my criminal charges dropped. If y'all knew this was, part of the gang stalking and me being forced homeless due to the gang stalking, when I had my place to live before I became back homeless again, how many of y'all were praying for me to keep my housing and for me to not end up back homeless again? But that's what people say, that people in society don't pray for your healing, but they will pray for your suffering. That they will pray to God that the cops will punish you to the fullest extent of the law. And that's what people be doing. Praying for God to punish, to use the cops to punish you to the fullest extent of the law without any grace or mercy. Or what they want to say, sympathy. And it's like if people aren't, like if I'm at my lowest and I'm praying and reading the Bible and stuff, or listening, in my case, what I've been doing lately is listening to the Bible. It's like, it's like I either get like religious narcs using the Bible to attack and tear me down or kick me down even harder and make me feel more discouraged. And I have perps that are offering fake sellout deals. Like what they were trying, like I showed in a community post what they did last night. And they have the majority of the people who claim to be Christian and in the TI community who claim that they're God's chosen elect, and 144,000 God's chosen elect and 144,000 chosen ones. And and yet they be like the most unmerciful, and unforgiving. But they would rather make excuses for gang stalkers than be merciful and forgiving towards them. But me having an altercation with any of them, a narcissistic control freak, fake Christian TI perp, or that act like they delusionally believe that they're a thug, a hood gangster. It's like you want to try to be a worldly gangster in a religious, a fake Christian narcissist at the same time, and trying to shun me about what you perceive as my sins, and trying to control and correct me when you don't even care about me. Certain people I've had to when I'm in situations like I'm in, I've had to block and cut off people for being like, think that donating me a few dollars gives them a license to be controlling, manipulative, and abusive. And the closer that is coming for my court date, now all these, when I'm emotionally fragile at the moment, and even spiritually fragile at the moment, the online people that abusive and narcissistic and using the Bible to discourage and kick me down even harder. And then the other side is the gang stalkers that are bullying and harass. They ramped up the harassment and gang stalking, and then they're at the same time trying to be very slick with manipulating and trying to manipulate and trick me with the fake sellout deals and fake sellout offers. And a lot of people, especially in Hollywood, California, that's homeless, if they went, if they went to Hollywood, not even from Los Angeles, went out there with the false hopes and false dreams of becoming a famous celebrity, and then they end up being MK Ultra, drugged up, forced to be gay, or perform, perverse acts, and then, they end up not making it, and then they're hooked and addicted to drugs, and then, homeless, forced to be homeless on the streets. And they probably did, maybe not have sold out. And then, out on the streets and just helpless, with being addicted to drugs. And some of them can't even they're so drugged up that they can't even tell the story about what they went through, So I'm not risking to sell my soul, and I don't even entertain the thought of I have zero desire to want to sell out, and like, I don't find drugs to be interesting or fascinating. Never did. You know, I never really wanted to be around drugs, alcohol, drinking. Smoking cigarettes and weed, and you know that has. Those substances, they either taste or smell very disgusting and terrible. And it make you look unattractive. And I hate the idea of BDSM or sadomasochism. I absolutely hate it. And I hate the idea of sexual slavery and bondage. I absolutely hate it. I hate violent sex. I hate rape. So I'm in a very low state right now. You know, it looked like somebody just try to dish out unsolicited advice on social media just now. Um, but when I make remarks about perps harassing me, people think that I'm too retarded and slow to know how to block the perps. Now, like, I am blocking them. But y'all be the first to believe their slander when they make up the lies about me. Y'all be the first to believe their slander and turn away. Now, like, how you profess to be Christian and you defend and agree with the Freemasons, or you defend and agree with the the satanic devil worshiping gang stalkers? You would defend and agree with them and believe them and attack, give me vigilante hate and attacks. And I'm like, wait a minute. They're lying on me about Raven. But to harass me about Raven, my twin sister and her cult, they think that shit is funny. Because my twin sister tried to lie and say that Wyatt and the girlfriend that they shared, Toya, that Wyatt and Toya overdosed all three of the kids with Benadryl. Okay, well, if that was true, why after such an accusation, how come you had them watching Raven again? Or you never called the police on them? In 2005, before Hurricane Katrina, after she lied on me about touching Raven, she tried to make like she speculated that Sean was penetrating Raven. And when I confronted her about that in 2016 or 2017, she tried to gaslight and lie, and me and her got into a heated argument about that. So she when I was taking Taekwondo classes in 2005 before Hurricane Katrina, I think it was right before I got my car, right after I got my car. And my twin sister, she would leave Raven in the house with Sean. And Raven would have no clothes and just a diaper. And have Sean to babysit Raven while my twin sister herself, her and Dwayne go to the fake IDMR cult meetings. And then she would try to talk about that Sean was penetrating Raven. But then she kept making those complaints. She never called the police on him, but she kept bullying Sean to force Sean to watch Raven. And if she would have Raven to have like spoiled milk that got mildewed all on her bib. And for Raven to be in the same shitty diaper for like 5 days. And one time what she did was, Raven was about 5 months old, and my twin sister came to my apartment with Raven, her and Dwayne. And then they it's like, Raven had the mildewed, soggy, wet bib full of, milk, old spoiled milk. And it wasn't Raven's fault because she was a baby. And then, I noticed diarrhea or doodle or something on the couch. And so, like, immediately when my twin sister left, I noticed the diarrhea. And so then I started to clean and sanitize and spray with Lysol. I remember it was green apple Lysol scent. And I cleaned and sanitized and wiped everything up and everything. And my twin sister, she got her feelings hurt and then got mad and blocked my number and this and that or whatever. But, she was trying to falsely paint me as mentally unstable and crazy. But I remember how negligent she was with her own kids, though. The way she took care of her kids, you would have thought she was mentally slow. It would have never crossed my mind to have my own child, if I had any, to leave the baby in the same diaper for like 3 fucking weeks. And ignoring the baby's cries, neglecting the baby, leaving the baby with shit from head to toe. Doo-doo, and the Raven was, eating her own feces. But my twin sister tried to falsely paint me as mentally unstable and crazy. I'm not going to let you fucking do it. And then when I point out or expose the truth about the way my twin sister neglected her kids and everything, outsiders will falsely accuse me of being jealous and a hater and stuff. But they will believe every lie she has, hook, line, and sinker. But I would have been called a piece of shit if social media existed back then, and if I would have filmed and record evidence of Raven eating her own feces, and I would have been considered the no good piece of shit. Or if I would have reported to CPS, but CPS ain't no better because CPS, they take kids in trafficking and abusing. And my twin sister and her husband, they were treating Raven like this, neglecting and all that, and they weren't even on drugs. And then they will argue amongst each other who's going to change Raven's diaper. Excuse me. Excuse me. And they did this to Raven, and Raven, had already been disabled. Excuse me. But, some people say, it's very hard, when you do defend yourself against smear campaigns and lies made up about you. And then sometimes it might take 20 or 30 fucking years for reality to start hitting and for people to wake up and realize and start believing the truth. What my twin sister trying to falsely paint me as mentally unstable and crazy. And trying to falsely glorify herself as having more common sense. She delusionally believes that she has fake high authority over me. She's a sadistic bully. And, I'm scared no more. I'm a fight back. I'm going to keep fighting back and defending myself. Her cult followers harass me about Raven and cuss me out just about every fucking day on fake new accounts every time I block them. And then they come back with more fake new accounts. Fake TI perps and regular perps want to talk about, tell what you did to Raven. Were you there? I can tell you what I didn't do to Raven. I can tell you what I did not do to Raven. I never in my entire life gave Raven a bath. And that's my biological niece, my twin sister's child. I never gave Raven a bath. But okay, after you lied and said I molested Raven, why were there times even after that when she would bully me and tell me, change Raven's diaper? Not after you falsely accused me of molesting her. Oh, why do you want me to watch Raven again? Even after you lied on me and said I tried to kill Raven, you lied on me and said that I molested Raven. Okay, if you did that, then why did you, even after she lied on me and said that I, molested Raven, sometime after, she sent for Raven to spend the night by my house one time. I was still living in New Orleans Towers. One time she had for Raven to spend the night by my house, and I remember it was after, I think it was before Costa Rica, but after I got my car. And I remember, driving Raven from my twin sister's house with the car seat, and I didn't put the car seat in there. I think my twin sister or her husband or somebody put the car seat in there. And I drove Raven in my car from my twin sister's apartment to my house. And like a night or two, Raven spent the night by my house. And then I think my twin sister may have came and maybe I brought Raven back the next day or whatever. And I don't even have much memory of what happened, like vivid details, I think she probably was already fed and, had her bottle or whatever. But, my twin sister would do stuff like manipulate and set me up in certain situations, and then out of nowhere just making false accusations out of the blue, out of nowhere. And then manipulate for people to think that her false accusations are logical and true, when she was trying to set something up and hoping that XYZ would happen. But yeah, I mean, I never intentionally, I never hurt Raven. I never made Raven cry. I never really bullied or teased Raven. I never really did Raven wrong. And excuse me, my twin sister will make false accusations against people and switch her story up each and every time, and people still somehow believe her damn lies. And manipulate and trick people into thinking that she's logical and intelligent. So anyway, though, the publicized video that I did earlier today, I have to use the bathroom. Hold up. Wow. The sudden random urge to pee just came out of nowhere. So they just nearly succeeded at force urinating me as a way to try to distract me and try to make me forget what I was talking about, or try to shut me up or make me quit talking. And yeah, so I kind of lost my train of thought. So I forgot exactly what I was trying to talk about. But anyway, though, excuse me. So, and I think I got another bit of harassment this morning. I don't remember. when somebody made a harassing comment. Oh yeah, this morning, later this morning or early this afternoon, when I mentioned about on another someone else's YouTube video about about being a targeted individual and forced homeless, and then an abusive narcissistic gang stalker, you know, falsely try to falsely accuse me of being a perpetual victim. And I'm like, yeah, you one of the damn perps. Oh, you upset because you know what I'm talking about. So the video that I did, talking the previous publicized video, where I talked about the biggest con game with the gang stalking. I uploaded the video and I got 4 views in 6 minutes. 4 views. Like within 6 minutes, I ended up with 4 views and 3 thumbs down already. And then after like about 20 views, a perp gave me a thumbs up and then removed the thumbs up and switched it to another thumbs down. And I've been getting like so many, like, as I said, I'm the only content creator that I know, or only YouTuber that I know, where people who comment get more likes and thumbs up than my actual videos. And that's from my twin sister's fake gang stalking proxy abuse cult. They're the ones that's doing that. And people say that to have multiple people come up against you and you got to be the only one to fight when nobody else is there and you're the only one that's got to fight. People say that you're a very strong person to have to go through something like that, that is very strong. That's a lot of strength to go through. If you are, if a whole bunch of people ganging up on you and you're just one person, so, I mean, I'm panicking because see, next week is closer to court date, and I was trying to have help to stay off the streets, but thankfully I was supposed to be on the streets right by now, and I was supposed to be back on the streets by now, and then so thankfully somebody helped me last night, and then so I was able to have a another night for tomorrow. I mean, wait, hold up. I'm confused. Wait. Hold up. No. For tonight. I'm supposed to, have another night for tonight. And I had breakfast this morning during lunchtime. I didn't have breakfast during breakfast hours, but after 11 o'clock, I had breakfast. And then, I'm not going to have lunch. And then, I have like, probably barely enough for dinner, like right on the nose, maybe. So when I, paid for the hotel for tonight, it seemed like the guy, I tried to let him know about my new card, and it seemed like he was trying to charge the old card after I told him. But maybe that might have been a mistake though. But it looked like the like, I don't know if it would have been, if he charged the old card by mistake, even after I told him, about the new card. And so, you know, so I got charged, the transaction went through for the current card that I just activated yesterday, you know, and then, excuse me, and I mean, the current card, because the other card, it expired, you know. So now, um, well, after that $5 donation, along with the narcissistic, bossy, religious narc message, with the $5, now I have $10.92 in the bank. But if it weren't for that, it looks like the calculation would have been $6.17 left in the bank, But I'm thankful and glad for the $5, but I don't even know if she meant to make me feel bad or feel ashamed. But, you know, people say focus only on God, and I've tried as best as I could, But what am I supposed to do fighting this criminal charge? And have to go to court, and these so-called prosecutors and judges and everything, having a plan to not be merciful. And they just want to throw everybody in jail, or they want to take everybody to, suffer some kind of punishment, and without explaining your predicament or your circumstance. All they want to think is, oh, you committed a crime. We just want to punish you. And they won't even hear you out on your circumstance or your situation. It's not like I killed someone. I didn't rob anyone. And you hear about police officers wrongfully taking innocent people to jail and falsely accusing them of crimes just to meet quotas. And they figure that you're poor and don't have a lawyer, so they get away with, ruining your life even harder. But if people are rich and got a lawyer, then the lawyer will fight for them, and then they can sue the cops or sue the government or sue whoever, and then get like thousands or even millions for, false arrests or something like that. But it seems like if you're poor, you don't even get to stand a chance. And the so-called public defenders always, they go along with the prosecutors rather than defending you. And I would hate to continue to just keep going to court. The jail thing should not even have had to happen. Cops will bully me all the time and threaten me with jail, and then go on there. I stand up to them, and then they go on there, and I even call them gang stalkers to their face, and then they go on about their merry way. But I mean, I really think that the fake Aquarian Doris perp backed off and left me alone, because she must have felt like, oh, Candy going to jail, oh, mission accomplished. Like as if she finally, got what she wanted from her demons or whatever. That she brags about. Her demons being so powerful. Now, people like the fake Aquarian Doris perp, the fake Darnell Williams perp, Star Bricker, Stephon Adams, my twin sister, and anybody else, those are the ones who y'all should be yelling at and saying, you make sure you read your Bible and make sure you're praying. Go after them. Don't come at me. Go after them, the stalkers. Tell them, read your Bible. Pray. Y'all attacking the wrong person. I'm already under attack. And I mean, and as I said, if I'm reading the Bible and praying and trying to get closer to God, and then, the religious narcs, beat me up and attack me, on social media and kick me down even harder and make me feel even more discouraged. But and then those are the main ones who go and tell people, do not help her. I tried to help her. I say all the time, I don't like people bossing me around, telling me what to do. I don't like people dishing out unsolicited advice. Unsolicited advice. In a way that will try to belittle and put you down and kick you down even harder and be condescending. And be like, people with narcissistic personalities, they get their kicks out of being brutally harsh. And then it's like for them to brag about being like, they pat themselves on the back about how brutally harsh they can be. And it's like a badge of honor for them. And that they love to glorify themselves with their fake delusional power at every opportunity. You know. So but I mean, as I said, for people to like, if they donate and then give words of encouragement, I really appreciate that. But I don't like it when, people give a donation and then leave messages that's, discouraging and putting you down, or making you feel really stupid. You know, excuse me. And even professed Christians, pushing for the idea that they want me to serve punishment, but they don't care about the idea of me suffering the gang stalking, and I had nowhere to go and didn't have help. I had just been workplace mobbed off the job, didn't get help, and then I keep forgetting to mention that I ended up getting arrested and going to jail the day before I finally was going to get my first paycheck. Like, I got arrested and went to jail the day before I finally got that first paycheck after 3 weeks. But if everything I say is like shock value or disgraceful, why the hell y'all force yourselves to be subscribed to me? If you don't like me and you've been stalking and trying to control somebody with vigilante hate for 4 years, for almost 5 years, you know, I mean, force yourself to watch what you don't like, you know. Um, like, if you don't like me, how come you don't choose on YouTube, don't recommend channel, or don't show any more posts like this? If I don't like something or don't like somebody, that's exactly what I do. You know, I click on the video. I mean, I click on those little ellipses or whatever, and I click on don't recommend channel. And I block that person, But of course it'd be like if I had an argument or a feud with somebody, or somebody did something, or if they blocked me for no reason, or if they don't like me, or if I don't like that person, I don't stalk and try to control them for years and try to harass and rewrite the narrative of their lives. And no, I just like if on TikTok or um, you know, Twitter or something, you know, I mean, and if I don't like certain content, I just keep scrolling. But if I had an altercation with you, or if you did something to make me mad, then I will, block you, or I will, on YouTube, I would say don't recommend channel anymore. But sometimes I might still end up seeing those results when searching for something. Your channel might pop up, but I don't even try to be like just all day like the online, my twin sisters proxy cult followers, like proxy abuse cult followers, they have their notifications turned on just so that they can thumbs down my videos. They got the notifications turned on and subscribe, and even some fake TI perps. Like, I'm not so like, maybe I need a clean house on my main target about a Psych World channel or some other channels, but other than that, you know, on this Candy Grand Prix channel, from what I know, I'm not subscribed to anybody that I have an issue with or that I don't like. And I don't even go and try to stalk their channel or stalk their videos every day either. I just try to, eliminate every bit of access or contact with them if I really don't like that person, you know. But anyway, well, now it was supposed to be today, but now I'm scheduled to have to be back on the streets tomorrow. And I'm going to try to see what I can afford to eat for dinner today with about less than $11 that I have. Um, Trying to see what can I afford to eat. Um, and I try to stay away from McDonald's and Taco Bell and Wendy's and stuff, because one of the last things I need, especially during this time, is to be addicted to food. Be addicted. You know, so um, to be addicted to food and then craving it like a drug. I mean, addicted to those toxic Illuminati junk food and then craving it like a drug. You know, so um, I would rather just have my meal and to be nourished and filled up. But what's the point of being like addicted and craving? It is very unhealthy. And being on psych meds plus McDonald's addiction, not a good combination. I don't even touch McDonald's no more. And I try to avoid Wendy's, Burger King, Wendy's, and now lately I have been, for a long time, I had even been trying to avoid eating at Subway. Excuse me, when I had the Dairy Queen in Bloomington, Texas, the online perps, like when I try to avoid Dairy Queen, they try to make it like as if, oh, Candy thinks she's too bougie or too uppity to eat Dairy Queen. And then when I ate Dairy Queen, they said, well, she's four hamburgers and a dozen of donuts shy of a massive heart attack. And I wasn't even eating heavy donuts, when I was in Bloomington, Texas. I ate a donut or two here and there occasionally, but I wasn't even eating massive donuts like that, you know. Excuse me. And I can count on my hands how many times I had Dairy Queen, and it was just right across the street. But yeah, if I ate something different, oh, Candy thinks she too bougie or too uppity to eat Dairy Queen. But when I eat it, then, oh, you deserve such and such heart attacks, massive heart attacks. You deserve to drop dead of heart attacks. But then if I, if I eat salads on my own, oh, Candy, you're wasting your money. But then if I eat junk food, oh, you need to eat salads. And I'm not even living my life to try to please internet strangers who hide behind anonymity. You don't won't even reveal your real face or name and think you're so tough behind your phones or behind AI or artificial intelligence. You use artificial intelligence and then have fake meltdowns when somebody call you fake. When somebody says you're fake, you have a fake meltdown. So, I'm asking for anybody who's sincere, who supports me and understands and believes me being a true targeted individual. If possible, could you please, anybody that's not going to be bossy and controlling and trying to kick me down even harder. If you have the funds, could you please help me out with, more food and hotel nights to stay off the streets, at least until next Friday. I especially need help with funds with hotel nights, food, and at least one outfit with some dress shoes or something. I mean for court date for Wednesday. But if not, then I guess I'll have to go to court looking raggedy. And I hate that this is too much to ask for, but the gang stalking network forced me to have to be in this predicament. They won't let me work or have a job or be independent. So, I mean, for those of you who's supportive and don't have a bossy agenda, the ones who support and help, without asking for anything in return or without trying to make me feel like you hold something over my head or like I gotta be indebted to y'all or something, excuse me. But I'm thankful and grateful for the ones who support with without any strings attached or without any anything demanding anything in return or feel like you got to be my handler because you donated something or you want to micromanage and not feeling like you want to micromanage my life and stuff because you donated a few dollars or something. But people don't even care about your salvation, trying to bully you about focusing on the Bible and everything just to make themselves feel more self-righteous. So I mean, that's like 5 minutes after you took your psych meds, and then a narc would get like a secular narcissistic abuser lie and say that you never take your medicine when you've been taking it religiously or taking it faithfully. I'm not going to give up on Jesus Christ, but I gave up on a fake IDMR cult, and I gave up on psychiatry in the mental health system. Never going back. So, you know, as I said, I'm asking for any and all the help that I can get, for help with hotel nights and hotel nights and food, and at least up until next Friday. And then, I definitely need help with between April 30th and May 2nd for 2 nights of hotel room, so that I can have a secure and safe place to keep my belongings while I go to court. And keep me in your prayers. At least keep me in your prayers. Any of you Christians, can you please, it's not demanding. I'm, asking a petition, not demanding. Can you keep me in your prayers? And can you please pray for them to drop the criminal charges against me? Because if it weren't for the forced homelessness and targeting, this wouldn't happen. And it's happened to a lot of homeless people. So thanks for listening to me. And the Supreme Court is pushing hard. And I heard that Governor Ron DeSantis passed a law to actually criminalize homelessness in all of the state of Florida. And I heard that the Supreme Court is pushing to criminalize homelessness. And this is really wicked and evil. And they won't even allow homeless to have jobs. And what they will do is they will lie and say that homeless people are lazy and don't want to work, when it's the people who have jobs that are lazy and don't do their jobs correctly and don't want to work. And those are the ones who get promoted. And they have people who do drugs and alcohol at work on the job. How many coworkers have I dealt with that come to work? Come from their lunch break smelling like weed. Yeah. So, and those are the ones who get promoted and to team leader and up to management. The corrupt people, the corrupt narcissistic abusers who be participating in the gang stalking and perping people. So I'm going to be back on here later on, and keep me in your prayers. I'll see y'all. Love y'all. Bye.